This is Experience Dynamic Fertility Mapping in FarmCommand Center. And I'm Ben Johnson. I'm a product marketing manager here at Farmer's Edge. And let's talk about fertility management. So with fertility management, I think we're used to looking at our results and in a certain way. We're used to looking at, maybe we're used to looking at zone maps or some sort of map showing where we've taken samples. We're used to looking at soil test results, whether it be digitally or maybe in a PDF form with soil test results. And so we can look at the soil test results, and then from there we can make a recommendation or a rec map, and that rec map might be a variable rate map. And so that's some really good information that we can see, and we can turn this rec map obviously into a spread file that we can take out to the field and so forth. But as we look at these, they're just individual layers that we can see on individual pieces of paper on individual fields. And that's all well and good, but it doesn't really help you see the forest through the trees. And we have a tool here at Farmer's Edge that can really help get a different angle on this. So with FarmCommand Center, we have added another filter. It's called our Agronomy Filter. And so what we can do is we can have a map open with all of our fields, and we can see our soil test results on all fields. And so we can see each map of each field all at the same time. And so we can look at different nutrients, and we can see and really compare field to field. Okay, which one's stronger, which one is weaker, and so forth. And we're able to pick those out even on a zone by zone basis, and we can scroll through the different nutrients, whether we look at P, K, sulfur, whatever. We can see that and get some visuals on that. So we can actually click on a specific field here. And so we've clicked on this field. We can see, okay, here's our actual soil test results. We look at our different zones in this box over here, and we can see, okay, here's our ranges in parts per million. We can see, okay, on the high side, we're just under 30 parts per million. On the low side, we're just over, we're at about 11 and a half. And so, okay, that's kind of the range where we're at. We can see where it's at out there in the field, and we can see, which soil test package do we have as well, which is important in P, whether it's, the Olson's really good in higher pH, the Bray in lower pH as well. So it's good to know exactly what we're looking at here. But yeah, so we can take this a step further, and we can actually edit the ranges here. So, visually that map doesn't really draw out the variability very well. So what we can do is we can actually edit the values there. So the minimum value there is 0, so we could bump that up to say 10. We can edit the maximum value, so 30 would cover us for that maximum value as well. So we could really tighten up that range, and then we could get a map like this where those different ranges are just a bit more dynamic, and we're able to see a bit better what those look like for us, which is handy. So the next piece here, we can actually take a look at our zone maps in FarmCommand Center here. So we can see the zone map on each and every field, and so it could be something as basic as fertility. But we could take a look at other maps as well. We could look at variable rate seeding if we had a separate map for that. If we had some sort of variable rate crop protection, like fungicide, we can open up that map as well. But yeah, so we can just simply click on that field, and we can see all those different zones out in the field and see how big they are. And we can even download that map to a PDF just straight out of FarmCommand Center. So we can download that. We've got a PDF. We can file that away if we need to. We can email that off to somebody, print it off, and so forth, and away we go. So yeah, then we could do very much the same thing with a crop protection map, which could be much different than a fertility map. We could do all those same things there, and do all of those great things. And so that's great. And being able to download these into a PDF maps, that's just really step one, is being able to do these. We want to do more of these with some other layers that we have, and that's really is what's going to be to come on this. So um, I think this is a really amazing development, a really new way to be able to look at fertility on a whole farm basis, and being able to play around with soil test ranges, and really making use of the dynamic functionality of FarmCommand Center to be able to look at things in a different way, and really tinker around with things, and visualize things, and really truly see the forest through the trees. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate you attending today, and have a good rest of your day.